If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Well, the WBC is turning out to be sort of the true World Series as you see it unfold every 4 years. And the other countries are taking it a little bit more serious. I think the United States, a lot of the teams over here aren't willing to kind of let their players compete. Too much of a risk of injuries. But you see Japan, who's won it 2 years in a row now, they see it as a source of national pride, and they're out to prove that they're the best, in the world, and they treat it that way. So they've been training for a long time. They were clearly in the better shape when you start out in March with that tournament.
Sorry, I'm nervous. I've never sat 10 feet from Cal BJ before. How would you guys, if you were to look at your crystal ball 5, 10, 20 years, how would you expect scouting in baseball to change based on the experiences that you had overseas?
You mean international scouting?
Yes.
Well, I think in the past, maybe like 15, 20 years, in my view, you've seen pockets where there's become hot spots. At one point, Cuba, we're bringing everybody from Cuba. Then we went down, we found some kids from Australia. So now we wanted to bring all the Australians. And now the Far East has become hot. Where Ichiro came over, and Nomo before that, and the other pitcher. So Japan, now, and there's some Korean guys over here. Now there's Daisuke with the big guy that was a Mancho on the Yankees. Robin, yeah. And we have people from Taiwan here also. So I think everybody in the scouting is going to be looking for players. You have everyone's got an international department now, and they're going to be looking for players all over the globe. And I think there's more to it than just. I think the Dodgers are the team that's always been kind of ahead of the curve. If you look at their team, they always a very international team. They've had people from. I think they've had the first guy from Korea. They've had players from Japan. They've had players from Latin America, Mexico, South America. So I don't think there's any doubt that they're eventually. The MLB is over in Japan, right? I'm sorry, in China right now, but their presence is not very big. It's one guy.
There are 4 over right now.
Well, they have
4 Chinese.
Well, yeah, there are some 4. The Yankees signed a couple guys, and I think like I said there's 4 guys.
Like 4 to the Yankees. And
Yeah. I mean, you saw that someone signed 2 people from India this year, as an experiment. So I think it's going to continue to get more and more global. I don't think there's any question about it. Because I think the number is, IMBA has about 160 countries play baseball, something along those lines. So I think, South Africa's in, you have the Netherlands, Italy. So I think it's going to continue to get more and more global. And as it takes hold in China, eventually someone's going to be good enough for them to bring them over here.
We have one more question.
Cal, for somebody who played here at Camden Yards, we know about the warehouse wall. If you had to choose which wall, warehouse wall or the great wall?
You're asking me to choose between the warehouse wall and the Camden warehouse wall.
The Great Wall.
The great wall.
One that's been there for 1,000 years.
Let's start over. The wall in China or the wall right here in the warehouse? The memory with the numbers on the warehouse is probably the best memory you ever have, this place for me. And it turned out to be such a wonderful human moment. But I tell you what, you feel really, really small when you're on the Great Wall of China. And seeing it in pictures doesn't do it justice. I mean, you have to be there, you have to feel it, and just wondering how they did it, how they made it, and how it's stayed that way for all these years. It's a true marvel. And so it does make you feel like you're just a small part, of the world. And maybe it was designed for that.
I'm going to close with one.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.